It's a new episode, and Michael Damian's version of the theme song is back with a vengeance. I watched the DVD versions of the episodes, and I wondered if there was a difference with other sources. I learned that Netflix also uses the Michael Damian theme song for this episode, but Hulu doesn't. It uses the classic one. Further, Netflix has 20 episodes as part of this season, whereas the DVDs and Hulu include only 16 episodes, which jives with the original airings. So, for those of you watching Netflix and expecting commentary on The Babysitters, well, you're gonna be waiting a while. It's student body elections week, and Jessie, seen here giving off major la-di-da vibes, is running as a 9th grader for president. Why?
I care about the student body.
I care about a student body too. Hers.
And that's one campaign you're never going to win.
Roasted. But also, roasted. Zack tries to shame Jessie out of running, but she ain't having it. Meet Mr. Dewey. He's the math teacher and the faculty advisor in charge of the student body presidency. He's just learned from Mr. Belding that the winner of the election, the faculty advisor, and the principal get a trip to Washington, D.C.
Hot dog.
Belding pulls him aside to tell a perfectly appropriate anecdote for school hours.
Never forget the last time Mrs. B and I went to Washington. We got arrested for skinny dipping in the Potomac.
That's a Kodak moment.
Holy farts, I hope not. Imagine doling out a projector with that image in there.
Now, as I recall, you received a very nice slide projector 3 years ago.
I did, and I appreciate it. There's a slide of you and Mrs. Belding at Club Med jammed in it.
In class, Mr. Dewey announces that Jessie is the only person running for president. What? No upperclassmen need the resume bump? Why all the posters? And why did Zack say this earlier?
The point I'm trying to make is that student government is a joke. I mean, look at the geeks who run.
There are no other geeks who run. Except yourself, of course. You see, after overhearing Belding and Dewey discuss D.C., Zack is suddenly interested in being class president. But why the change of heart, Zack?
I'm inspired by the words of the Beach Boys. True to your school.
Yeah, I think Full House did this name drop better.
Your patriotism is giving me good vibrations.
Saved by the bell for more Beach Boys fanboying. Jessie tries talking Zack out of running when we get this exchange.
Okay, Zack, go ahead and run. But I'm warning you, I'm gonna kick your butt.
Mr. Morris, would you care to rebut?
Please don't be gross, please don't be gross, please don't be gross.
I'll wipe her out.
Ew. At the max, because of course at the max, Jessie gives the typical boring, issues-heavy candidate speech, while Zack goes for the typical party guy candidate speech. While these two stump for supporters, let's take a minute to observe a few things. First off, Zack only decided to run today, and he shows off his Time Lordness by already having professionally done posters, stickers, and balloons. You could almost say that Max is a Time Lord, as he has a pro-Zack loincloth already made, but this can be explained away by Max being magic. So another note, Slater tells Zack that he's voting for Jessie.
What would the world be like if a woman ran it? Less violent and color coordinated?
Someone maybe should have told Hillary to run on that premise.
A female has more hormones. She could start a war in 10 seconds. If she has hot flashes, whatever, boom.
Haven't all wars been started by men?
Yes.
Maybe we should stop making flaming generalities about gender and look at the person individually. That said, how come our recent presidential nominees have been not great? As a final note for this scene, can anyone tell me what baby Sammy Sosa is doing back here? The cameras are rolling! Back at Bayside, hey, where did the locker numbers go? Slater wisely suspects Zack of shenanigans and pumps Screech for intel. And speaking of pumping... No! I mean, where am I supposed to look in this scene? Oh, gotcha. In this locker room that we've never seen before, Slater let slip that Zack's only running to miss a week of school for the D.C. trip. That doesn't sit well with Belding. Now, do you know what doesn't sit well with me? If Bayside's mascot is a tiger, why does this gym shirt have a bird? You could say, oh, it must be the mascot for Bayside Junior High School. To which I'd say, then why are Belding and Slater both wearing junior high shirts at Bayside High School? I don't even know why this is an issue. We've already seen countless examples of tiger-labeled attire. In class, Zack shares a campaign video just loaded with cheap propaganda. The video includes real-life pictures of a younger Mark Paul Gosselaar, as well as stock footage of world leaders. What does this joke even mean? I didn't think Fidel Castro was known for his unshavable beard. I thought he was known for his, crimes against humanity. That's at least what my US-based education has taught me. Zack's video also includes an Edgar Poindexter cameo, as well as this.
Zack Morris is a man's man. And a ladies' man.
That didn't count. You kissed her poster, you pervert.
Stupid.
Does anyone wish to comment on this video?
The video was fat. The video was fat.
The video may have been fat, Marky Mark, but it also may have swung Kelly's vote.
I am now leaning toward Jessica Myrtle.
Myrtle? Oh, there's a fact for your bar trivia. Mr. Belding shows up and regrets to inform young Master Morris that funding has fallen through and the DC trip is off. But this won't matter to a legit candidate like Zack, right?
Hey, Zack, the latest poll has you 70%, Jessie 30. You can't lose.
Hating all of this news, Zack decides to turn his machinations against himself. And he's still biffing that wink. He tried it earlier in the episode, too. Someone teach this kid how to wink. With questionable slogans like, don't be catchy, vote for Jessie, Jessie is forced to listen to Buzzkill Kelly.
I mean, if you don't change your image by tomorrow's debate, you're going to go down in history with George McGovern, Walter Mondale, and the Cleveland
Guardians. So, let's see some new tactics employed. Zack proposes extending library hours to accommodate a recommended tripling of homework. And Jessie, well, she's like this.
I just want to know, are you guys in favor of MTV during study hall? Yeah! Well then, if I'm elected, we're not going to study, we're going to party! Sure!
Zack and Jessie have reached peak politician. Flippin' and flappin'. Not finished with his scheming, Zack enlists Screech to help rig the election for Jessie. Screech buys votes with quarters, spreads a rumor that Zack is Belding's son, and defaces a poster, which gets our boy Edgar all kinds of excited. One of the rumors Screech spreads is that Zack takes ballet. Now, just one of these times, I'd like to see the no homo joke abandoned for something unexpected. Like, ballet lessons? You don't say. I knew a subtle grace must lurk beneath that snarky demeanor. Oh well. It was the 90s. The results are in, and Zack Morris, a 9th grader, is the new student body president of Bayside High School.
God demand a recount.
He edged out Jessie by 1 vote. Then he learns that Mr. Belding is a dirty liar and that the DC trip is on. Mr. Belding congratulates Zack on a noble, honest win.
I was wrong about you, Zack. You're a better man than I thought.
You know what that music means. Zack feels bad and comes clean to Jessie. He's going to resign tomorrow and she, the loser in an election, will become class president and not the duly elected vice president. Now, 3 things to note in this final scene. 1, Since when does Jessie even have glass in the window? That would have prevented a classic eavesdropping episode from being produced. 2.
Actually, I came by to return something.
What?
Oh, is it Jessie's underwear you stole in a classic eavesdropping episode? Nope, he's keeping those. It's Jessie's baby blanket. Zack sure likes keeping track of his friend's old baby stuff. And 3, the deflated balloons around the room are a nice production touch, showing Jessie's feelings in defeat. The episode ends with friends just hugging it out. The dry, deadpan Mr. Dewey is played by Patrick T. O'Brien. He's so much of a fan favorite that he not only reappears later in this series, but also in the new class and the streaming reboot. He has an extensive resume, including TV shows like The Wayans Brothers, Roswell, and Malcolm in the Middle. Here he is in Dharma and Greg as a fantastically pathetic weenie trying to sue his own mother. He had parts in some great movies like Pleasantville and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. He also had a small role in the terrible Mark Paul Gosselaar film Dead Man on Campus, though the two didn't share a scene together. And let's not forget this gem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Why am I showing off so much questionable man hair in this video? I mean, it's my show, my choice. Why am I doing this? Who is this for?
Zach Morris. Why the heck not?